Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happens in YouTube Atheist Community and Stick Up Fun. Sorry, I'm fading fast. Yeah, it's getting tired of everything. Sick of living in the dark, also. Make a little commentary. Yeah, it's really late. I should have had this done much earlier. So I'll keep it brief. For both our sake. Last night, debate and such. I don't know. It was a alright evening. There was some conversation about how different people got to their antinatalism. I suppose that's useful in conversation about how to migrate people, how to convert people, and what it takes, and what kind of experience they need to experience to have some sort of a eureka moment where they realize they're just grist, just the corpses rolling down the belt that are going to fall into the grinder, kind of a thing. That the whole game is trivial and silly, but who wants to hear that? Because everybody wants happy and motivating. Everybody needs a little motivational pitch, and this big picture stuff just isn't important. It's just, but yeah, I mean, having a sense of the big picture being important, I guess, is one of the first things they have to have as a perception. That has to be, somehow that has to get into them, this idea of the reoccurrence, as Nietzsche would put it, that you're doomed to the reoccurrence if you don't do anything about it. I mean, if I was a slave owner, I would have an angst. Even in my comfort, let's say I didn't have a great deal of empathy for the current slaves. Just sitting, enjoying yourself in your luxury, like being a king, and just recognizing your mortality, and recognizing, oh, the next time around, I'm not going to be the king. I'm going to be one of them. I'll be born to one of them, so to speak. And, you would think that would run through people's... I mean, that was that was a really early occurrence in my life, was just the idea that, oh yeah, I was born in that house, kind of idea. Even though I wasn't born in a house, but you know what I mean. That I'd already recognized I already had a realization of that you could be in a different place. You could be in a worse place, or you could be in a better place, and that, it was really easy to look both ways and say, I want, and to say, oh, thank God I missed that. That kind of thing. You saw kids who were totally broken around you, and, well, I did. And, it was just obvious that, man, I'm glad I'm not him. But when you realize next round you will be, damn. No thank you. I don't want to show up for the next round, thank you very much. I got lucky. I want to quit rolling dice. Thank you very much. No. That should just occur to somebody to say no. So I guess if you don't have that simple mechanism rolling around inside of you, like I said, not a strict reincarnation, just a recognition that squirrel is squirrel, pig is pig, elephant is elephant. Elephant 500 years ago, elephant today, no difference. That this is what you're going to be. This is what consciousness is going to be. I mean, the you is essentially, you have to depersonalize your you in the inverse way. Instead of depersonalizing in the sense of I'm only 1 in 500 million, you have to kind of personalize you into the world and say, I am. And I am will be anywhere, to give it a religious connotation. I am will have to live the future. It will march in the future. The M part. People just don't get it, but I don't know how they can miss it. I guess I should be able to articulate it better if I'm going to claim it's such an obvious concept. But I think there are sometimes things that are obvious, like I could say I love my penis, and it just seems like a natural thing to say. But I guess it could take some work to explain to what it is exactly about it that I'm just so charmed by, you know, it gets a little weird. And so I guess it's a little weird when you're trying to explain your understanding that, you know, you have a huge gratitude, you know, that you're not a tree sloth, and that you're not stuck in some horrid circumstance, and that you're not going to have to endure some awful conscious experience. And just the simple realization that the you part is in constant transition. It's in constant flow through the universe here. You know, the you part is common to all of us. I mean, here it is, a very personal word, right? Me and you and I, and you know, all these personalizing words are just so personal. But if you just give it a tiniest bit of thought, it's just totally silly to have them as personal words. They're not personally owned. You-ness, me-ness. These are not things I possess. You know, they're universally possessed. So, well, anyway, that's how I see it. Anyway, it just seems obvious, but whatever. I guess I got to work on it, like all the rest of this stuff. It takes work. But that's in this, so many of these conversations. It seems so funny to me that people don't have any respect for communication as a means of transition. They seem to not think that part of the determinism of our lives and the whole mechanism is some necessary function of communication, of changing each other, you know, by speaking to each other. And often we speak in poetry or art or movies or stories, and somehow that means more to people. I mean, if I told people some sort of three pig story, they somehow could relate more to that than if I just honestly say something coming from, you know, my inner workings. It is kind of funny that somehow has less value when I honestly convey something that's just, you know, so bright and so heavy and so real inside of my identity. That has so much less value, some direct conversation about how I fear you people. I fear what you would subject me to. You know, but if I put it in a story, then they'll say, oh, I get that. You know, it's just funny how it works out that way. I mean, some of that you can understand. We always like it to music, so to speak. I mean, the opera without the music would be, you know, whew. Opera's bad enough as it is, right? But yeah, it would just be nothing. And so there is a sort of, you have to hook, you know, you have to bait and hook. You know, you have to play this fishing game. You know, you have to, you know, you have to herd the sheep with a dog, or you have to, you know, herd the geese with food, or, you know, you always got to bribe or extort, and, you know, with emotional isms. And it's funny that people say I resort to emotionalism when I quite obviously don't, because I don't use images, and I don't use cartoons, and I don't use really simple, glaring examples. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I think we'll just sum up with, everybody on YouTube is boring and sucks. You know, this is true though. It's just kind of irritating. I'll just point at icons and go through some of this shit, I guess, right? Maybe I'll make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. Control plus, right? Yeah, I should do it. There we go. That's a little more helpful, because then I can point and say, let me get it. So anyway, I'm going to do a response to Professor Anton. But, you know, his videos are so, it's not as direct as I was like. You know, I got a page of notes, so I can do something with it. But it's hard to get, he doesn't say things very explicitly. He just kind of says, well, that's, you know, that's bad, but, that's, but, you know, everything's a conditional, you know, it's really, he doesn't make direct accusations, you know. You look like a child molester, but, you know, just not. Anyway, so Warbles did this thing with this, you saw a rag magazine with the, you know, picture on it that looks like me. And it does look like me to some extent, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just kind of coincidental, but, you know, this walk and talk image is the same angle as that image. I mean, you really can't see that, but I mean, it's the same angle of my face, just of the face. And so it does make it even more obvious how similar the two are. So I give them that, yes. But I mean, I could find crazy old, you know, Arkansas lunatic. I could just type Arkansas bearded crazy into Google and do an image search, and I could probably find it. I could probably find it at Warbles. But anyway, so yeah, okay, it's a fair enough joke. Well, anyway, so then he read the story of this crazy child molesting guy, and it all was kind of funny because, you know, he just molested a ton of people. He got convicted for pretty much attempted murder, rape of some like 7-year-old kid, and he went to jail for 3 years. And after he got out, he, you know, kidnapped this other kid that's so famous. But you know, it's just so bizarre that, you know, 3 years in jail for brutally raping, beating, leaving for dead a kid. 3 years. I mean, that's pretty tragic. You know, that you would ever let that fucker out. I mean, why would you find a way for him to slip on a bar of soap and crack his head open in prison? I mean, do you really think a guy who could rape a 7-year-old kid, or 8, whatever he was, you know, so bad that he's bloodied, the cops think he's going to die when he shows up, and, you know, crawls to civilization, you know, collapsed lung, and, you know, he tried to strangle him probably because his eyes are bloodshot. And so you can just imagine this happening to your kid, and the crazy fuck gets 3 years. And they're going to put that fucker back on the street. I mean, some fucker that can do that, you're going to put him back on the street. I'm sorry. That just doesn't make any sense to me at all. At all. Yeah. I mean, sorry. I wouldn't let him out unless he's willing to leave his nuts behind. He's going to have to leave his testicles in the prison if he wants to get out again. Period. Anyway, that's a whole separate subject, so I'm not moving along very quickly here. So anyway, that was sort of interesting just because you heard the backstory and you're just like, oh man, that's so stupid. And then the worst part was, right, the kid he was so famous for killing, you know, it took 10 years. I mean, I hate these famous case bullshit. You know, that's just so, why do you pay so much attention to this one kid when there's so many others that are just ignored? But anyway, the worst part was he didn't even molest the kid. So he just ended up killing him because, you know, he went to molest him. The kid tried to escape, and he killed him while he was trying to escape, so he didn't even get his molesting in. So it just makes it all the more tragic, right? No, I guess it's not more tragic. It's just more ludicrous. It's just another example of why are we doing this again? Why do we replay these bad movies over and over again? Why do we just keep rolling the dice so we can have the dice roll 7-year-old kid getting raped? Why do we do that? Well, why do we say let's do that again? So you can have a birthday party? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's my honest statement. Anyway, so Greatex was actually on a subject similar to that. He just went on and on and on, which makes him useless. But I mean, you know, I've made the same kind of commentary. It is kind of, you know, just the whole way that, like I said, this child molester guy, this one kid gets 10 years of on every carton and on pizza boxes and all this shit, and you're saying, why didn't you do that for all these other kids? And, you know, so great text was going on about the plane crash thing. Why are the victims of, you know, plane crashes somehow pharaoh or something? You know, we have to remember them forever and dump flowers in the ocean forever, and it's the most horrible blah 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 blah. You know, when thousands of people will be killed today for really stupid reasons and really stupid ways, and no one's going to give a fuck. And it's just, it does seem to be such a gross irrationality, nonsensibility of the human race, of human society. It's got to say, doesn't it fail for that reason alone? Isn't that a huge piece of evidence of colossal failure, that we can't even appropriately acknowledge the pain and suffering and sacrifice of people? That we're going to pay more attention because somebody falls out of an airplane or gets crushed in a coal mine? I mean, it's just, you know, all you can say is, isn't that evidence of bullshit? Anyway, so that's the only videos I think of anybody's made that matter. I mean, they don't even matter, right? There's not That's not saying much, is it? The Spook made a painting video, but yeah, it just was a little bit too... didn't go anywhere for me anyway. Didn't feed me in any particular way. Just talking about his broken psychology and pissing himself and whatnot and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but I can't do much with that. I can't do the Stefan Molyneux guy. Yeah, I watched a couple more of his videos, and you know, he doesn't say anything either. It's just he's doing all these small talk videos, so I can't really argue with any of it. And you know, he went through cancer, and you know, he survived, and he's all strong and all. You know, you can't really ridicule that kind of stuff, but. He's still such an asshole, you know. God, he's just so not likable. But he's, you know, charmingly obnoxious or something. But he's so fucking gay. That was it, yeah. So him and this other guy were talking, and they started talking about Jimmy Bieber or whoever. What's his name? Smeeber. And the Backstreet Boys, and they brought up, like, I was thinking they were going to say Menudo any minute, and I was like, man, this is way too gay for me to watch. I mean, you could just feel it's like the Matrix, like the gay was like when Neo puts his hand in the mirror, and you know the Matrix comes to get him. You could just feel the gay leaking out. And it's just, you know. Not that it's a bad thing, but I just, you know, I figure I'll wait till the next roll of the dice for that. You know, I don't really want to go there right at the moment. But, ooh, yeah, it's really gay. Anyway, alright, so for the good guys, yeah, Greg Guy did a good little rag on Alex Jones, which was funny. And, yeah, nobody else made these videos, right? James Young Servant Guy did a .2 video. He said something nice about me and such, which is always nice, but and some other guy, so that was good. But yeah, really there's nobody making any videos but me and Holt Fan. Anyway, so Old Fan did a couple of videos, but this last one was a little bit, I mean, I shouldn't say anything. I mean, it's a perfectly agreeable idea for people who are into all this social networking and jibber jabber and twittering and whatever else, I guess. But I just don't get the point of casual creating mediums for just, you know, oops, I farted. You know, I just don't see any point. Like, I'm watching a movie and I just, you know, mimic what somebody says something stupid, and you know, then we're just going to make that a cliche or something. I guess it's just too, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get the function of adding content to movies or something, or people having any input that's going to mean anything. I mean, people aren't going to be saying anything in a movie that's, you know, if they typed or twittered their impressions probably aren't going to mean anything to me. I mean, I didn't even like, you know, movie reviewer guys. I would just be like, oh, fuck you, that's bullshit. Oh, fuck you, that's bullshit. Sorry, I'm looking for my flashlight. Oh, shit, I couldn't find the good one. I hope that didn't knock the computer out. Yeah, I really can't be. I got extension cords all over the place. It's dark. I'm cooking, and it's getting too hot, I think. Yeah, it's boiling. Well, that's not too hot. That's probably the appropriate amount of hot. But sorry, I just didn't want to burn. So I've got enough pots with burn shit in them. So you can't live that way. I don't have my pants properly buttoned, and they're falling off. So that's also making this more complicated than it should be. Where the hell's my other flashlight? My boots aren't tied. And what else? I really want... Oh, there it is. Okay, I was right on top of the computer. Yeah, I almost did trip over this cord that's everything's plugged into. So that would have been great. Ugh. Anyway, really is a bit. Really isn't that bad, so I shouldn't complain. Yeah, I really shouldn't. So I won't complain. It's you know, I got this power. It's just not enough, but I got it. So I shouldn't complain. All right. So anyway, yeah. So it's okay, but yeah, I don't. But yeah, I do want to work on my tools because I do want to do this. You know, where we can tag websites and do some commentary on things, but it needs to be something that creates something better than noise. And it seems like most people just create noise. I mean, that's what mostly is in the environment, is noise. I mean, I don't play in the noise environment, so I can't say it's, I shouldn't say that I already know it's all noise, but I'm just saying there's an awful lot of noise. Not something that builds anything. Alright, anyway, so let's just get to my videos for the week, right? Alright. So the Obsidian Teen guy did a video, and I did 2 responses to that. There should be 2 of them. No, that's right, 1 response. Yeah, this walk and talk. So anyway, so inmendham goes beyond theism and atheism. I actually think this is one of my best videos in quite a while. Not so much because it has a lot of poetic words or you know, ones that are cliche-ish good. But it's just, it's a good video in the sense that I think I used an explanation of determinism and free will that was, I think, a good, I mean, I think I understood what I was saying. So if somebody else doesn't, though, you know, I guess it was a lot. I think there's just a lot in there if you listen to it carefully. I suppose that's what I'm saying. So there's 3 response videos to Hothla Day, where we're just arguing about the meaning of words, and it's pathetic in a sense because these are like fundamental facts of our existence. Our origins are pretty clear. The mechanical mechanisms of evolution, the idea that it's basically it's a viral kind of replication at its origin. It's like a virus infects the earth and starts spreading, and then the virus invents parasitism. The viruses figure out how to feed on each other. And really that's all that's been going on for billions of years, is machines modified to feed on the other machines. It really is a pretty ugly mechanism at its core. And that should be something people can just accept, and then they can make their defense of it. But it's sort of a fact that has to be defended. It's a parasite planet. It just is. Factually, that's what's going on. Anyway, cosmic questions. Oh yeah, that was a To Be Serious response video to, you know, defending your species, kind of a thing. How would you defend the human race? Which is just, you know, you might be able to defend humans. You know, there might be a few humans in Earth's history you could say, yeah, that was an outstanding human. But they'd have to be outstanding, right? And you'd have to concede that the human race as a species has done rather poorly. I mean, horrible wars, just, you know, back to gray text, silly imbecilities, you know, valuing the sport over I mean, they'll kill people to buy a Cabbage Patch doll. You know, no sense at all. And then I did a couple videos in my little fun with the electrical companies, you know, let's waste you some money policy. And then I did a explanation of cash and the economy. I think it was a pretty good video. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, understanding this whole banking system thing, I'm understanding it so much better. And I guess to really say something, you really have to, like, predict something. You have to be like, okay, I'll predict when the stock market will crash. But to impress anybody. But I really do think I understand the mechanics. I understand why it can't be sustained. And I think I explained some of that in the video. But anyway, and it's very consistent with stuff that's come out by different, you know, the British banker system, the British Fed or whatever, did publish a document explaining, which was kind of funny. I wanted to do a video on it, maybe I will in the future, but I did want to get this one commentary out on this, you know, the this PDF file that went through how money is created, essentially. And the funny thing was, in this whole article about how the different bank, how the Federal Reserve works versus the regular banks, and how the money is created and then reconsumed into the system and all that kind of stuff. And through all this discussion of the banking system, there was no mention of the distinction between collateralized loans and uncollateralized loans. I just think this is a really huge distinction. It really does make a difference. I mean, if a bank is doing fractional reserve banking on collateralized loans, it's really different. And mortgages are very different than some bank just trusting the guy. Yeah, big difference. And it seemed just so glaring that there was no mention of the difference between loans collateralized, loans that are basically monetizing assets, and loans that are monetizing nothing. I mean, it's a big difference. Okay, anyway. Libertarians be dumb. I don't remember who that was a response to, but that was a little bit fun. Very well done, I think. 2 Ego U. Oh yeah, the Modern Mystic videos, yeah. But he doesn't, he doesn't play with me anymore. I'm from the wrong side of the tracks or whatever, so I don't get any responses out of him. But whatever, I've been playing YouTube this way for a long time, so that's no big deal. And I did do some stuff on the Bitcoin. Yeah, that was just crap. Yeah, Bitcoin is just such bullshit. And then you got the what the fuck libertarians. So anyway, sorry, this was supposed to be a shorter video. It just didn't turn out that way. So yeah, I'll be doing the Professor Anton video. That'll probably get back to the subject that we were on with Anaconavad and stuff about, there'll be some talk anyway, I would imagine. About this whole idea that religion is just bad science. This Professor Anton seems to want to go halfway. He wants to sit in some sort of, and it seems like a lot of these people, the 2B Seriouses of the world, the rest of these people, they just don't want, they want to do enough truth to get past religion, but they don't want to go where the rest of it's going to take them. They don't want to climb the rest of that ladder of intelligence, because they know the truth is going to be, they have to acknowledge that it's a parasitic game, not a beautiful game, and the mechanism is hugely flawed. The whole idea of your desires and everything else is all contrived. You're just being puppeted through your existence. The strings are just so obvious that are pulling you into the grinder, and they just don't want to see all that. They want to pretend they're doing something important, and something surely valuable enough to accept 1,000 slaughtered animals. you could take them on the altar and cut their throats, and these people think they're doing something worth that. And I obviously don't think we are. Yeah, obviously. So anyway, enough of a video. So yeah, another week. Keep clicking them off. Click, click, click. Eventually they'll stop clicking, but the watch turned another go round. So let's see if we go another. We'll see what happens. Day at a time, moment at a time. Day, hour, minute by minute. That's all we can do. I'll try to be, I will try, I should just do that. I will try, ... That's what I'll do. I mean, I'm going to try to do better, but I'm just, I'm trying, that's all. Best I can do. I mean, this is the way it comes out. It does seem like I should be doing something better. I should have vortexed to some higher level by now. But this seems the fastest I can run is this speed at this time. Take it or leave it. Such.